Hi yogis, welcome to today's practice. So today's class is a homecoming of sorts. So it's definitely for anyone out there who has lost their way or maybe has found themselves feeling disconnected. Maybe you feel disconnected from yourself, maybe you feel disconnected from your source, or you just don't feel like you've been yourself lately. Which is totally normal. It happens to everyone. I think it comes and goes in waves and phases in our lives, especially if you're someone who's constantly kind of holding yourself to the fire and kind of consistently asking yourself, what is it that I want out of this experience, and who am I, and who am I becoming? So I think that when you find yourself detached, it's okay. It doesn't mean that everything's wrong and sort of falling apart. In a lot of ways, it could be very opposite, that things are slowly starting to come together. And so this practice is supposed to sort of physically emphasize this kind of homecoming, just checking back in with yourself, kind of reconnecting to your source, reconnecting to, the magic inside. So we're definitely going to be diving deep into the tighter areas of our body. So the places where we tend to refrain or restrain ourselves physically from really feeling whatever's coming up. So think shoulders, upper spine, mid-spine, low back, hips. And we're going to wake up the leg muscles of the body, this really powerful area of our physical nature, to kind of give us that strength and confidence to kind of settle back in or to come back home to yourself. So I hope you're ready. You absolutely do not need anything for this practice. If you like your blocks and your blankets, have those things nearby, but I like to keep it simple, and there's always a modification for everyone. So let's get started. Meet me in a child's pose position. So just knees wide, big toes to touch. And just sitting back, really trying to make the tush touch back on those heels if you can. And if you're struggling, no big deal. We're gonna work our way through it. So arms extended forward, bring your head towards the earth, please. And then just taking a deep breath in through your nose. Release the exhale out of your mouth. And then inhale again here, really deep. But this time as you exhale, exhale out through your nose. So just starting to create that ujjayi breath. And let your hands relax, let your fingers soften. And you're just beginning that journey back home to yourself. Allowing your breath for the remainder of this practice to illuminate that journey, illuminate that path as you start to make your way back towards your source. And then inhale, slowly start to float your chest up. As you exhale, walk your arms over to the right. And that left hand will walk out just a little bit further than the right hand. And then with intention, try to sit back into that left sitting bone. It's okay if your head doesn't touch the ground. And then inhale, walk it back to center. As you exhale, opposite side. Walk those arms over to the left, right hand extending just a little bit forward. Head towards the earth. And we're softening, eyes are closed here. Nice, one more deep inhale. Perfect, and then as you exhale, just start to float your torso up off the ground, come forward, and just meet me in a tabletop position. So knees underneath the hip points, wrists underneath those shoulders, and just drawing the navel back towards the spine. Stick that left leg back behind you, toes pointed down onto the mat, and then just extend your right arm forward. Nice, slowly start to lift the left leg up. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, bring elbow to knee, curling through the entire spine. So think chin to chest. Now this time as you inhale, I want you to lift a little higher than you normally would. So you're almost drawing the collarbone forward. Perfect, breathe in. And then exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale again. Nice, exhale, elbow to knee. Nicely done. Now inhale, extend, lift through the chest, lift through those back toes and the right fingers, and then just reach your right arm all the way back. And then begin to bend into that left knee, so tiger's pose. And if you make contact here, great. If not, no big deal. We're not worried about it. But just lifting, or rather pushing that left foot into the right hand. Relax your jaw. Perfect, exhale, release. Try to swim that right arm forward, back the way it came. And then just hands and knees, tabletop position. So a lot of these moments where we're gonna expand and contract, just really emphasizing that journey of feeling disconnected, because it happens to everyone, right? We're not perfect. We don't always feel connected to our source. We don't always feel like we know who we are. That's kind of half the fun. Inhale, lift. Nice, exhale, squeeze. That's one. Inhale, expand. Nice, exhale, contract. Inhale again, reach. Exhale and contract. And then inhale, reach. Right? Really, really reach, expand, expand. Swim that left arm back, bend that right knee. See if there is a bind. Don't worry if there's not. Perfect. Relax your jaw. One more deep inhale. And then exhale, release the leg, release the arm. Come back the way you came. And just back into tabletop. Great work. Take a deep breath in. Slow breath out. And begin to tuck your toes. So you're going to work on kind of an unusual movement. And it's going to be pretty flow-like. So don't worry too much about the alignment of it. Just more get into the feeling of moving and kind of loosening up the body. So we're going to tuck the toes. You're going to lift your knees to hover and push back into a floating child's pose. Take a breath. And then exhale, step your right foot forward into lizard. Reach your right arm up. Nice, right hand down, step back, float your child's pose, and step up. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Step back. Nice, inhale, right foot forward. One more round. Exhale, right hand down, step it back. Inhale, left leg forward, left arm up. Exhale, left hand down, left toes back. Perfect. Really squeeze back into that floating child's pose, and then find your downward facing dog. And just take some time to stretch. So pedaling out through the legs, maybe moving your hips side to side. Beautifully done, yogis. And then swim your body forward into a plank pose. And then exhale, lower all the way down to your bellies. Great. Take your legs out kind of wide. Reach back through the toes. And then planting the hands right near your chest. Start to lift up. Think upward facing, but it's a little lazy. So hips are down. Kneecaps are down on the ground. There's no lifting of the legs here. Perfect. Start to feel the energy spiking right through where your tailbone is. And just imagine sending that energy up through the spine and then out through the head. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, tuck your toes. Just counter that downward facing dog. Great work, yogis. Pedal out the legs. And then just really put a deep bend in through your knees. So think of that floating child's pose again. And then see if keeping your chest here pushed towards the thighs, you can just start to open up through the hamstrings. So think heels dropping down, but your chest really isn't moving. And then stepping the left foot to center, reach your right leg up towards the sky. Bend your knee, allow the hip to open, but as you do that, I want you to drag your chest forward, lift your head, and think right toes towards the crown of your head. Breathe in. And then exhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. So we're gonna work with that movement where we add a back bend to our three-legged dogs and then curve it out. We sort of contract it out as we step forward into our standing poses. So inhale, come up into high lunge. Perfect. Take a breath in here. And then lift up through the right leg. So release all that tension in your right thigh. As you exhale, open arm twist towards your right. Really driving the energy down through the legs. And then inhale, push up. Exhale, open arm twist. Inhale again, push up. Exhale, open arm twist. Keeping the legs as they are, windmill the arms open, warrior two positioning with that left back foot. Perfect, stay here, breathe in. Reverse your warrior, left arm down, right arm up. Cartwheel the arms forward, step back, plank position. And then just move through a vinyasa, so coming forward. And if you really liked that variation with heavy thighs, go for it. Sometimes I feel like we speed through our up dogs. There's really not that moment to just be in it and enjoy it. Or sometimes we might cut corners, right, in that up dog, because it's not easy. So take your time. I'll meet you in downward facing. Nice. Step your right foot into center. Lift your left leg up. Bend through the knee, allow the hip to open, but lift the head, right? Find that curl, breathe in, and then exhale as you sweep that foot forward. We're rounding, stepping, inhale to high lunge. Exhale, relax. Inhale, lift up through the left leg. Exhale, open arm twist towards your left. Inhale again, lift it up. Exhale and twist towards your left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. And then holding the legs in this position, we windmill the arms, trusting that the body just intuitively follows that warrior two. Breathe in, and then reverse it, keeping the lunge. And then cartwheel the arms forward. Nice, step back, plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga to the belly. I'm going for that kind of more slow and savory up dog, but you can do whatever feels right. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Catch your breath here. Great job, yogis. And then that right leg is going to come back up again. Three-legged dog, breathe in. Exhale, bend the knee, allow the hip to open. Lift your head. Pull your heart forward, deep breath in, and then exhale, round and curl the spine. Come into warrior one. Awesome, perfect. So left foot down about 45 degrees, arms come up. Interlace the fingers together, steeple mudra pointing upwards if it's available. Lift your heart, look up. Nice, yogis. Just taking our time. And then exhale, releasing the hands down. Plant your left hand to the earth, pivot on the ball of the back left foot, and then just reach your right arm towards the front of your mat. So it's kind of like a revolved extended side angle. Just a little bit more gentle on the limbs. And then dropping the left knee down, reach your right arm back behind you. Don't look for anything behind you, just trust it. Bend into that left knee, quad stretch. Open up the heart, let your head reach back. Nicely done. Inhale. And then exhale, release the arm, bring it back the way it came. Both hands planted inside of that right foot. We're gonna tuck the back left toes and then just step forward into the malasana. So driving the weight into the heels, hands into prayer at the heart. And one more deep breath. And then exhale, hands to the earth. Step your right foot back, warrior one. Great job, yogis. Reach those arms up to the sky. Find your steeple mudra, adding that back bend into this Vira A. And then exhale, releasing through the arms, right hand down, pivot, ball of that back foot, extend that left arm towards the front of your mat. Exhaling, drop the knee, reach back, quad stretch, opening up through the heart. One more. And then exhale, release the stretch. Left hand inside of that left foot, step back, plank pose. And then I'm just melting through this chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing. Really sending the energy through the tailbone out, through the skull. And then exhale, downward facing. And just catching the breath. Second round here. Left leg comes up, three-legged dog. Knee bends, hip opens, but we're lifting the head, feeding the heart forward. Trusting that those toes are just so close to our heads. Mine are not. And exhale, squeeze, step the left foot forward, warrior one. Inhale, we're back where we started. Deep lunge. Breathe in. And then exhale, release, right hand down. Revolved, extended side angle, but it's a bit modified. Drop the right knee, quad stretch, open up. And it's this journey into depth, right? Getting a little bit deeper, getting a little bit closer to ourselves. And then release, left hand comes forward, prepping for that malasana squat, stepping up. Weight back in the heels, hands to the heart. Relax your jaw. The work gets hard, and so you need those moments to just check back in with your breath. Because if we lose the breath, we kind of lose the yoga. And then hands down. Nice left foot goes back this time, Vira A. Arms sweep up. Interlace those fingers. Just create a torch-like energy with your body. And then release. Left hand down, right arm reaches over. Get low in those hips, drop the left knee, swim that right arm behind you and quad stretch. Don't be afraid to really let the head just roll back. Soften your shoulders. And then release, swim everything back forward, hands inside of the right foot, step back, it's plank. And it's a slow, intentional chaturanga to the belly, or traditional, right? If you're working with that traditional vinyasa. Feed the heart forward, breath in. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Slow breath out, yogis. From here, reach your right leg upwards towards the sky, three-legged dog. Bend your knee, allow your hip to open, and then think toes towards the head. So just flexing the spine. And then exhale, right foot comes forward into that high lunge. Reach your arms up, deep breath. And then exhale, root down into the legs. And you're just building that confidence and trust in the body. Cactus the arms, open up the heart. Maybe look up if it feels available to you. And then swimming the arms forward, come into warrior three. So I'm kind of close to my wall. I might have to readjust. I'm just working with the space that we have. Breath in. Try to point that left hip down. And then left foot comes back, reverse your warrior. So just skipping warrior two, windmilling the arms all the way back. Lift your heart up to the sky, and then exit on an exhale into triangle pose, Trikonasana. Left arm up. And once you're here, once you feel stable, see if you can pull some weight out of that right hand. And it's okay if you need a block, need your shin bone, perfectly fine. And then open up through the chest. So it's almost like you were leaning your head back, creating a slight back bend in Trikonasana. Excellent. Left hand comes down, bend into your right knee, and then just move into lizard pose. Maybe you come down to your forearms. Maybe you stay lifted. Either way, just kind of answering the call of whatever is available in this moment. Maybe you drop that left knee. But try to look towards the top of your mat. Try not to look down, just looking forward. And on the next exhale, lower that left knee down. Come up onto your hands. Squeeze your left knee towards the center, and then just walk it out towards the edge of your mat as you come into a seated twist. So right foot over the left thigh, right hand comes down for base right behind you. Lift your left arm up, and then exhale, twist. And just really, really letting your breath do most of the work for you. And clearing out any blockages and illuminating any dark places in your body. And then release the twist, come back forward, step up with your right foot, come back onto your left knee, and then just step back out into that lizard pose. Nice, slowly sending the right leg out, nice static movement. We'll come back into plank, lower down to the belly. Inhale, lazy up dog. Perfect, just taking your time. And then exhale into downward facing dog. Great job, yogis. Left leg comes up, deep breath. Knee bends, hip opens. Again, finding that flexion. Really trying to lift your head. And then step forward back into that high lunge. And just steady holding your Anjaneyasana. Cactus the arms, lift the gaze. Fingers are vibrant. And then sweeping the arms forward, hands into the heart, come into Vira 3. Feel the hands pushing into your heart. Feel the beating, that pulse underneath your rib cage. Excellent. Right foot back behind you, reverse your warrior. Take a breath. And then as you exhale, moving into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Think about leaning back. Maybe you can see your right thumb. Maybe it's too much for your neck, so just keep looking down. And then left knee bends, both hands down inside of your left foot. Come into lizard pose. And trying to look forward towards the top of the mat. Great job, yogis. Right knee drops. Kind of squeegee it towards the center of your mat. Slowly come down into your twist. Left arm out for base. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, left arm out for base. Right arm reaches up and over. Breathe in and twist. Kind of forgot which body part was where for a moment. Just sitting up nice and tall. Breath in. Nicely done. Release your twist. Left foot steps forward. We're back in that lizard shape, and then just kind of kicking that left leg out, sweeping it back behind you. Plank pose and vinyasa. And breaking down this vinyasa so that, again, we're not cutting corners, we're doing the work, we're sitting with the stretch, sitting with the breath, and then exhaling back into downward facing dog. Great job, yogis. Deep breath in, slow breath out. And take your right foot, place it forward, come back into warrior one, please. We're going to start to dive into some deeper stretches. So arms coming up, we're going to interlace the fingers. Breathe in. Exhale just a little bit deeper. Lift your gaze. Nicely done. Release the hands down. Find that revolved extended side angle again. Remember, it's a bit modified, not as intense. Drop the left knee to the ground. Move into your quad stretch. Open up the heart. Maybe think about driving the foot a little closer in towards your rear. And then releasing the right arm, same way it came. I'm going to tuck through the back left toes, sweep the right arm through and coming into a wide-legged twist. So left arm reaching up, right hand towards that left ankle or the earth, whichever works. Nicely done, yogis. Now releasing that left arm down, I want to keep the momentum facing the left foot. So I'm entering this high lunge shape, facing the back of the mat. Arms reaching up. Exhale, moving into dancer's pose. Again, if you have a wall in front of you, you might need to adjust. It's okay. Right foot, right hand. Left arm out in front of you or up. Great job. And then step that right foot back, warrior one. Just finding your footing, taking your time. Breath in, and then exhale, release. Modified extended side angle. Exhale, right knee drops, reach back, quad stretch. You're not getting caught up on the hand and foot coming together, but also trusting in that if you just open up your heart, you just take your head back, the hand and foot will come together. Perfect. Exhale, release. Tuck those back toes. Reach that right arm through. So over to the left. Right arm up, big twist. Keep your quads nice and strong. And then exhale, release the hands, pivot forward into that high lunge. Arms coming up. I know I have minimal space, so as I move into that dancer's pose, I might just take a step back, move forward, left hand to left foot. Awesome. Right arm can come out in front of you or up towards the sky. I'll bring mine towards my heart. Nicely done, yogis. And then release, left foot to the right. So mountain pose. Arms come up, breathe in. And then exhale, big fold. Bend your knees here if you need to. Chin into chest. And just a moment to catch the breath. Nicely done. We'll come up halfway lift. Stepping back or hopping back, plank pose. Again, traditional vinyasa. Or if you're working on this slow and steady variation, that's fine too. I'll meet you in downward facing dog on the out breath. Nicely done, yogis. Take your left leg up towards the sky, place three-legged. Bend your knee, allow your hip to open, and then just step back, wild thing. Just keep it really light, really loose. Not too much effort here. And then step your left foot forward into pigeon. Nice. Make sure that back right leg is straight. Just settling into your bones a bit. Use the exhale to come on down. And take any variation you like just for a few breaths. Now inhale, start to come up slowly. Draw your left shin bone a little closer in towards your front pelvic bone. And then with your left hand rooted down into the earth, reach back with your right arm. Again, not really trying to focus on looking, just more that sensation of trusting this path that you're on. So right hand to right foot. If you can reach it, great. If not, we're not going to worry about it. Maybe you just spend the day kind of turning and opening up through the chest and just doing what is available right now. We're going to squeeze right foot towards that right glute. Try to pull or draw the chest forward. And then exhale, releasing that right leg. Bringing the hands back down, tuck through the back right toes, and then reflip back into wild thing. This time with a little bit more sauce, a little bit more effort. And then exhale, move back downward facing dog. Drop to the knees. And a little virasana just for a quick second before we begin to move into camel pose. So hands towards the heel of the feet, or if you need your blocks, maybe you're just working on supporting the lower back. Either way, just moving into Ustrasana, lifting the heart up. Right, and noticing where you feel resistance. And then exhale. Hands towards the heart. Come back, downward facing dog, second side. Nice job, yogis. Right leg comes up. Exhale, super casual wild thing. So it's a little messy, not super open. Just kind of feeling, getting a good feel for where we're tight. Then turning forward. Right knee in between the hands, coming into pigeon pose. Check to make sure the left leg is straight. And then exhale. Just give yourself a few moments. And then inhale, slowly start to come up. I want to pull that right shin bone in towards my pelvic bone. Right hand becomes the stabilizer, source of base for my posture, as the left hand reaches towards the left foot, maybe pulling or drawing that foot into a deeper stretch, and then drawing the heart back towards the front of the mat. Relax your jaw. Just imagine all those tight places kind of lighting up with every inhale. Exhale, slow release. Perfect. Get ready to tuck your toes. We're going to flip this back into wild thing. Right foot coming over, finding a bit more footing. Your hips, drop your head, and stretch. Please come back, downward facing dog. And exhale, knees to the earth, virasana. We'll move into Ustrasana one last time. And just however you like to get there. You know, in yoga, there's a multitude of ways that you can enjoy a posture. So just finding that place that works for you. Acknowledging where it doesn't feel great and backing out when you need to. Nice hips towards the front of your mat. Heart up towards the sky. Exhale, release. And meet me in child's pose. Knees wide. And big toes to touch. And in this place, maybe acknowledging your heart rate, acknowledging the pulse of your body. And in that acknowledgement, maybe finding a bit of reconnection back to your source, to your essence, to your thing that's deep within you. Sometimes it just gets a little lost from time to time, a little covered up. And inhale, roll your body forward, coming down into your bellies. Then prepping for locust, just make sure the legs are separated, tops of feet are pushing into the mat, kneecaps lifted. Reach the arms back, hands or palms facing downwards. On an inhale, we're going to lift up. Pull the chest forward. And then exhale, lower back down. Right side of your face coming towards the mat. Right arm out to the right. Let's roll the shoulders. So left foot stepping behind the right leg. And then inhale back to your belly. Left arm out to the left side of the face down. Step your right foot over towards the left. And then come back towards the belly. And we're going to move through bow pose. It's a little Dhanurasana, and I'll be perfectly honest, I really don't like this pose, but it means I need to practice it more. So here we go. Just reach back for your ankles or your feet. Again, if this isn't available, you're going to bring hands towards the chest, and then just work on lifting the legs up and lifting the chest up, just one at a time. Okay. Reaching back, chin to rest for just a moment. When you're ready, inhale, lift. And then exhale, slowly release. It's one that's really hard to talk in. And then lifting your chest up, thread that right arm through your left. Roll all the way onto your left side of your body. So rolling onto that right hip. And then taking the left arm all the way out to the left. Spinal twist. Just looking at those left fingers. And then inhale back towards your belly. Unthread that right arm. Left arm threads through. And then I'm just rolling onto my left hip. You might come off the mat a bit, that's okay. Right arm out to the right. Great job, yogis. And then just come all the way onto your back. So now your head is towards the top of your mat. And just lying back. We're going to prep for one round of Urdhva Dhanurasana, so upward facing bow. If this posture is not in your practice, or it's one that you tend to struggle with, two things. You can work on bridge, right? Just enjoying bridge, really finding the strength in the legs, or you can follow along with me slowly and just see if any of these modifications help you. So wheel is a standing pose for the most part. We use the strength of our legs to get into this posture. This is really where all of the power comes from, is in our lower half. So traditionally, a lot of times we hear feet forward in line with the knees, which is fine, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I have found that if maybe you just turn your toes out a little bit, so think more of an open rotation in the hips, you're gonna allow yourself more space to get up. Same thing with the arms. We've heard the same modifications for many, many years. It's like wrist in line with the elbows and in line with the shoulders. But same thing, you can kind of spin things out to provide more of an access of rotation. So when you come up, you feel a little bit more free. So I'm gonna set it up and pausing at the top of my head, right? Just to maybe move my hair out of the way, really find my footing, and then pushing through the legs and the arms, keeping the toes spun outwards if it's helpful. You can reset the feet if that's available to you, but you don't have to do that. Give yourself about two or three more breaths here. Soften the belly, soften the chest. And then exhale, just coming back the way you came, slowly. And then pulling knees, not really into the chest, but more just right over the hips. Maybe rock side to side. And hopefully that helped. If not, it's a journey. Back bends are hard. Really, really hard. It's one of the most vulnerable areas of our body, your spine. So I get it. And then just let your legs stretch out. Get nice and comfy, whatever that looks like for you. Let your arms melt down into the earth and start to close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out of the mouth. And rest in Shavasana. And just keep the breath moving in and out of your nose, yogis. And begin to take a deep breath in. As you exhale, just stretching through your arms and your legs. Wiggle your fingers, your toes. Imagine the kind of stretch that you take before getting out of bed. Just one that's filled with a welcoming. And from this position, just start to roll over to any side. It doesn't matter which side. And then bring yourself up into a seated position, keeping your eyes soft and closed. And if it resonates with you, you can bring your hands into your heart, but don't feel pressured to. Just a prayer pose with the hands. And we'll seal this practice off with deep gratitude and deep love for you, for all of your hard work, for all of your effort. And most importantly, in recognizing that sometimes we lose sight of the path. And you're not alone in that experience. We're not perfect, and we're always in kind of a state of change. And so honoring these moments where we can reconnect back to our source, to our essence, and to ourselves. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, yogis. It's always an honor. Namaste.